Chintabaraden is the center of the world, at least for hundreds of Uodabi families just like Mama's who live a nomadic life. It is not a large village, but on market days you will see lots of Uodabi people who leave their camps to buy, sell, or just to look around. But not only Uodabi people visit Chintabaraden. They share territory with the Tuaregs. The real region of the Tuareg people is located closer to the north towards Agadez. But after the war that they fought against the Niger government from 1991 to the year 2000, they were obliged to take refuge far from their territory. We could say that this is their southern frontier. In fact, it was here where the war started, the place chosen by the rebels to execute their first hostile actions against the Niger army. Chintabaraden has only one long street with 2 shops that sell Coca-Cola and stalls where the nomadic people can buy some small items. The days prior to the feast, the village looks wonderful. The Uodabi go to the market to buy things to decorate their clothes. They sell the unproductive cows or goats and buy bracelets, bird feathers, strings for necklaces, and colored fabrics. The Uodabi have never been craftsmen. The nomadic way of life is incompatible with the tranquility that craftsmanship requires. They buy or barter for everything they may need at the market. That is, every cloth or any object for their day-to-day lives. Mama and his colleagues in the association are trying to change this situation. They have created some craftsmanship workshops so that they do not need to depend on manufactured objects so much. These workshops are already working in Niamey, and one of the main objectives for their trip is to recruit more members for the association. The road ends in Chintabaraden. From here to the north, a wide space of virgin plains opens up, which is the real home of the men who we see walking around the market. From here on out, Hamidu and Mama will walk their way to where the family's camp is settled.
After leaving Chintabaraden behind, for the first time I feel like I've crossed a frontier. This feeling has nothing to do with lines on a map, but with the perception of invisible limits, of places where something ends and a door opens to the unknown. I feel rather strange walking alongside Mama in the middle of nowhere. It's really something new, but at the same time I feel as if I've always been here.
Deja definitivamente su condición de instituto emisor y lo propio ocurrirá con la Casa de la Moneda. Estamos ya en el tiempo que dedicamos a la cultura, tiempo de Cusa Campillo del Campo. Es una información que elabora nuestra compañera Cusa, como les decimos, nuestra compañera Cusa Campillo del Campo. Voces de Europa cantan hoy en Santiago de Compostela. Se trata de una coral de la que forman parte chicos del 316.
What are you listening to on the radio?
It is the Spanish radio. I can only tune into it at night.
And tell me, Hamidu, what about Spain? What do they think about our people there?
It is really different. In Europe, people think we don't have any food or any culture. They know nothing about Africa. But Africans do not know anything about Europe either. In Spain, there are thousands of Africans that cross the ocean by boat, and upon arrival, they find themselves with no legal papers or work. It's not easy at all to earn your life there. People think they will become rich very quickly, but the truth is that you'll be very lucky if you get a job in a house. I live in Vitoria, northern Spain, and people there respect immigrants. It's not the same in other places of Spain and Europe. You must be very careful when you walk along the streets. Also, you have to be careful not to get angry if someone insults you or treats you like an animal.
After 2 days of walking along the savannah, Hamidu and Mama finally reached the camp. It was not easy to find. Although during the rainy season people move less frequently, it is quite rare that they stay in the same place for more than 2 weeks. As they walk, they have been asking other nomadic people for information about Mama's family's location. The Uodabe are not very warm when it comes to welcoming people. Mama has not seen his family for several months, but nothing indicates that they have been separated for so long. For Hamidu, this is a deep emotional moment. Although he seems quite distant, Mama has been talking about his family these last few days. Lame and Tamaril, his children, his mother. He has expressed how much he wished to see them again. He has talked about them so much that Hamidu could easily recognize them even without previously being introduced. Every time Mama returns from the city, he brings lots of gifts for his wives. Lame likes necklaces and earrings. Tamaril prefers bracelets. His grandmother loves those large pieces of cloth imported from Indonesia or the Philippines.
Look, that one is Chibela. The one over there is Kuri. And this one on the right is Yaya. I have 30 cows and 7 breeding bulls. When I got married for the first time, I just had 5 cows and a bull. Now the family has increased, and as soon as one of my daughters gets married, it will increase even more. In just a few years, my animals will cover this valley. If no drought or epidemic comes about, I will double my cows in just 3 years. And with the money I get from the sales, I'll buy a car. That's why I must learn how to drive.
The fight for survival has traditionally been based upon the clan, the family, and so it continues to be. Everyone owns livestock, and if things go right, the community does not interfere. On the contrary, if a man loses his cattle for any reason, the rest of the tribe will give him some cows and bulls until his herd recovers. Mama's family planned to stay there for a few days, until it was time to travel to the place where the feast was to be celebrated. It was a slightly uneven plain with good grass, big acacias, and ponds where animals could drink. But before leaving the camp, Mama fulfills his promise of killing a goat in honor of his guest. In very few cases do the Uodabe kill an animal to eat it. This sacrifice is justified only on very special occasions. Daily food is basically milk and millet. Meat is only eaten during these events.
Mun